latest news you've ever heard about Mr. Churchill and Miss Fairfax? Had you any idea of it?
Can you imagine that I knew when I was encouraging you to give way to your own feelings? Had I known, I would have cautioned you.
Caution me? Why? Oh, you do not think that I care about Frank Churchill?
What do you mean? You said that you loved a man.
I did not name him, but I hope I have developed better taste than to choose Frank Churchill over him. Frank Churchill. Furthermore, I would never have even dreamed of him except that you told me he was wonderful.
Yes, but I thought you meant...
That raising my thoughts to him was a sign of my good taste. Those were your words.
Yes, but I meant them in reference to...
And without having heard them, I would never have dared to hope.
Harriet, please. Before we can go on, there is something that I must clarify. Is it possible that you are speaking of Mr. Knightley?
To be sure.
But you spoke of the service that Frank had done you in rescuing you from the gypsy.
Oh, I never said that.
I recall it with perfect clarity.
If I spoke of being rescued, I was thinking of Mr. Knightley's asking me to dance after Mr. Elton snubbed me. That was when I knew how superior a man he was.
Good God, this is a deplorable mistake. What is to be done?
Must something be done about it? You must think him 500 million times more above me than Mr. Churchill, yet you did say...
Harriet, have you any idea of Mr. Knightley's returning your affection?
Yes, I must say that I have. You told me to let his behavior be the rule of mine, and so I have. Am I wrong to hope as I do?
Harriet, I can only venture to declare that Mr. Knightley is the last man on earth who would intentionally give any woman the idea of his feeling more for her than he really does. This is tragic.
Why is it tragic?
Oh, Lord, how shall I break it to Harriet?
Harriet?
Me? Why should you think it would affect me? You don't think I care for Mr. Frank Churchill?
But Harriet, didn't you say so yourself? Considering the service he rendered you, it was extremely natural.
No. Oh, you have misunderstood me. I meant a much more precious circumstance. I meant Mr. Knightley, when he asked me to dance.
Oh, good God. Oh, Harriet, if I had known you had meant Mr. Knightley, I should never in a million years have encouraged you.
Why should you not? You said that more wonderful things had happened, and why should it not be so?
And you believe he returns your affection?
Yes, I must say that I do.
Has he said anything directly?
No, but he has talked to me in a very particular way. He seemed to be asking whether my affections were engaged.
You are sure he was not thinking of Mr. Martin?
Mr. Martin? No, indeed. I hope I know better now than to care for Mr. Martin. I would never have thought of Mr. Knightley, you know, if you had not encouraged me.
Oh, God, that I'd never met her.
Oh, Miss Woodhouse, have you heard the news? Frank Churchill and Miss Fairfax. Who would have thought it? Well, you would have, Miss Woodhouse, but they have fooled you along with the rest of us. You with your superior powers for sniffing out a match.
Actually, I'm beginning to doubt I ever had such a talent. You cannot think I would have encouraged you to have feelings for Mr. Churchill if I had the slightest suspicion that he had the smallest regard for Jane Fairfax.
Me? Why should you worry about me? You cannot think that I think about Frank Churchill.
Well, I'm delighted you seem so indifferent, but you must admit there was a time, not so very long ago, when you had me believe you were a little interested.
Me? No, never. Miss Woodhouse, you are mistaken.
But then who...
I don't see how in the world you could have misunderstood me. I know we agreed never to name him.
We did.
But considering he is infinitely superior to everyone else, who else do you think I mean? Frank Churchill, indeed. I hope I have better taste than to think of Frank Churchill. I did think it was too great a presumption, almost, to dare even think of him. But then you said, here in this room, this very spot, I think, well, you said...
More wonderful things have happened. There have been many happy and unequal marriages.
So I thought, if you gave me hope, you who have known him all your life...
Harriet. Oh, no, you cannot. Harriet, am I right in thinking that you are talking of Mr. Knightley?
To be sure. We talked it over here in this room?
Well, I could swear that you named Frank Churchill, his great service to you. He chased the gypsies away. He practically carried you here. I perfectly remember the occasion. I said it was no surprise that you should hold feelings for him, how normal it was, and I particularly remember you going into great detail about your sensations when he came to your rescue.
Oh, well, I know what you're talking about. I was thinking of something quite different. Not the gypsies or Frank Churchill. I was thinking of Mr. Knightley coming and asking me to dance. Well, that was what made me begin to feel how superior he is to every other being on Earth. Miss Woodhouse? But I know that this is a surprise, but even so, and even though you must think he is 5 million times above me, but I really do hope that in your own words, more wonderful things have happened. If he doesn't mind, then I'm sure you are too generous a friend to set yourself against us.
Us? Harriet, have you any idea of Mr. Knightley returning your affections?
Oh, yes. I must say that I have.
Miss Smith has some first-rate qualities. I was surprised by our conversation.
Ever since the ball, he has often taken me aside. At strawberry picking, he took such care to explain crop rotation to me.
Are you sure he wasn't talking of Robert Martin, trying to remind you of his good qualities?
No, certainly not. I hope I know better than to be suspected of caring for Robert Martin. I should never have presumed it, but for you.
Let us think of superior men. There are plenty of more suitable suitors around.
Mr. Knightley is the last man in the world who would intentionally give any woman the idea of his feeling more for her than he really does.
Oh, thank you so much, Miss Woodhouse. Oh, I'm so very happy.
You must go.
Yes, I'm in too much of a state to see your father. How he would worry.
Oh, please, I think you should stop talking and go. I need to think about this. I wish to God I had never met her.